Thank you. Now, she made it hard. Let me see. Good day, good day, good day, and it is a good day. I had a former university president once tell me, this is the only occasion I know where there is not one unhappy person in the place. Am I right? I think so. I think so. This is your day of celebration, successfully completing the work for your degree. All those exams, all those papers, all those lectures, class assignments, internships, all that's required for graduation. But not really. It's their day, and their day, and their day also. And it is their day also. For surrounding you with their love, support, rules and regulations, yes, expectations, financial assistance, guidance, challenges, comfort, and pride. Lots of pride right now. It is your day of celebration also. Now, after today, you're all going to go in different directions. Some will take a job in another community. Aren't you lucky? And we're glad you have it. Some will return back to your hometowns. Some of you will continue your education. Some of you will journey beyond our national boundaries for an international experience. You will be required to use your knowledge, your experience, and your passion as you undertake new beginnings and new experiences. But I'm going to add one more thing to that list. I'm going to add one more requirement: leadership. John Gardner, the founder of Common Cause and the former Secretary of Health, Education, and Welfare, often said, the most important position in the United States of America is that of the private citizen. And my remarks today are very much directed at a gathering full of those most important positions. When we speak of leadership, we always gravitate toward a focus on political leadership, thanks to the media, probably. But today, I want to focus on other types of leadership. And I want to offer you a few examples of those leaders at the international, national, and local level. These are the leadership of courage, the leadership of forgiveness, and the leadership of responsibility. The first is the leadership of courage. This is where people lead and act in spite of physical danger or economic or social retribution. It is the year 1966 in the small town of Griffin, Georgia. The Ku Klux Klan was all-powerful and eager to demonstrate it. I want you to meet a gentleman by the name of Raymond Head, a young African-American who was a tailor by profession. And at that time, Raymond was the only African-American business owner in town. His small cement block building was located in an alley behind Goldstein's department store, which was his major customer. He was a fabulous tailor of men's suits. The Klan decided his business had to go. Every day, they sat across the alley in the back of their trucks in full Klan regalia. You could do that in 1966. With their guns beside them, propped on the truck, or sometimes across their knees. Raymond's response was to pull his sewing machine front and center in his only plate glass window in the building, and to sit there day after day, head bowed in full view, and sew. And at sporadic times, a few of us would drop off and pick up clothing and garment bags. We all know that old game. It's the same clothing back and forth. But it looked like business was continuing, when indeed it had not. And Raymond sewed over and over and over on a sheet until the middle of July, when that hot South Georgia heat drove the Klan out of the alley. Raymond continued his business, and almost 20 years later was the first African American elected to the City Council of Griffin, Georgia. The second type of leadership is that of forgiveness, and in my mind, this is a hard one. This is the leader that puts biases aside, forgives past transgressions, and works toward a better future. I'm going to give you an international example on this one to start off. Nelson Mandela. In 1990, Mandela was released from political prison after 27 years in captivity in a space about half the size of where we are seated. 27 years, not 27 days, not 27 weeks, 27 months, 27 years, where he never saw his children grow up. He could not attend the funeral of his parents. He could not be in community, and he could not do his work. 27 years. The day after his release, he was asked by a reporter if he planned to get even with his captors. And he replied, "There have been mistakes, but I don't have time to get even. I want to turn my adversaries into allies and into building this great country." His first act within 2 weeks was to convene a group of white South African business executives to formulate an economic plan for South Africa. And his opening words at that meeting were, "The past is over. We need each other." And 2 months later, he commissioned the Forgiveness Commission to be run by his colleague and beloved friend, Bishop Desmond Tutu, which took on the healing process for their country. I think there are a few thousand places we know that we could institute that commission again. At a national level, I want to direct your attention to a famous picture that was on the front page, I suspect, of every paper in our country. It was of a horse and buggy crossing the bridge in the rain, carrying an Amish family to the funeral of the man who had murdered their children in their school classroom the week before. Because forgiveness is a mainstay in the Amish religion. I ask you, could you do that? Could all of you seated out there do that had that been your 7-year-old child? I'm not sure. Because this is the leadership that always asks the question, would you and could you? And we have to ask it of ourselves.